coming to you live from the My Insurance Group's media studio. It's the Homes and Homies with Handsome Hanson.
And not David, but
not
Gary.
David.
But Gary Gibbs.
Who am I this week? Who is Gary this week?
I just know he's got a cool shirt on.
Yep.
That's
if you're commenting, what are your priorities? On the shirt, we got Jesus, Texas, guns, beers, and tacos. We agree that tacos should probably go a little bit higher.
personally think taco goes like
Right
you
below
can
Jesus?
even put like Jesus and then tacos right like on the same line.
Get behind me, so you're close.
I'm gonna put tacos right under Texas, simply because if it wasn't for Texas, we wouldn't have Texas tacos.
Yeah.
Texas tacos or California tacos? That's
no contest.
There's no
Texas,
contest.
Texas.
that's what I say. Yeah,
But you gotta get a little more specific. See, Antonio tacos are the best tacos around
In Texas.
I agree.
in Texas, because you go to Houston, you get a decent taco. You go to Austin, you get a decent taco.
You go to Dallas and you're like,
You go to
what
El
is
Paso.
this?
You go to El Paso. You're getting a burrito. You're not getting a taco. You know what I mean? Like,
So that's what really blew my mind when we moved up to Washington State was everything was a burrito.
yeah.
And I'm just like, no, everything is not a burrito. This is a taco. So one of my friends, she owned a place called, it was called the Village Bistro down on Columbia Center Boulevard in downtown Kennewick. And I turned them on to tacos. I showed them how to make tacos. They put them on their menu. Number one selling item out there. And I told her, I said, well, the idea is that why would I want a 2-pound burrito stuffed with everything in it when I can get little mini tacos and get a variety?
Yeah, that's what
They
Taco
didn't know
Bell
what
is
a
for.
taco was.
Yeah. They didn't know what a taco was.
Homemade tortillas. That's the secret.
So-
Did
guys.
they have tortillas?
So we don't have to argue.
And
Texas is better than Washington.
Texas is better than Washington.
Texas is better than America.
And if you guys disagree, fuck you.
We're starting off hot.
We're coming in hot.
Yeah, we're coming in hot.
Coming in blazing.
I know this isn't on the topics list, but
That was a joke.
Have you-
Please edit
love
that.
me. Have you guys seen what's happening in Colorado? In Aurora?
No.
Oh, with the Venezuela.
Venezuelan gangs have infiltrated
yeah.
Colorado and are assaulting. They're bringing armies essentially of gangs and taking over apartment complexes with like AKs, big guns, and kicking them out. Now we have gangsters who are driving in from around the country, recording themselves, actually more patriotic than their own state government, and going to kick out these Venezuelan gangsters.
Is that in Aurora or is that
Aurora.
in? Because I saw something about Dallas too.
Yeah, it's happening in Dallas. I saw a video yesterday.
They
Some
better
guy getting
watch it in
his-
Dallas because I know a lot of people in Dallas.
It's wild, man. We've been infiltrated. It is no longer a conspiracy theory. It is actually trending that we are dealing with third world country problems in specific states of a certain political preference.
I don't know how far it'll get in Texas though.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas is kind of questionable though. Dallas, I don't know. It's borderline sketch.
I don't know. I mean, we got some pretty cool gun laws here and
Open carry.
Open carry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that video. The guy, basically the gangsta, was like, "We invented the word gangsta," like, and I don't think you want to find out what that means. But then
You
again,
look skeptical. What's the face? You're like, that's not happening.
Oh no, I mean, like I don't know enough about it to say yes or
Okay,
no.
all right.
The face was when he said Dallas is questionable. I'm like, I know a lot of people in Dallas. That's not happening. I just
Yeah.
like you give some of them just an excuse.
go down to stockyards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. So let's segue into the NFL. Who's excited? Who's got a fantasy team?
Yes.
What favorite team? Let's go. On three, everybody say their favorite team. 3, 2, 1. Browns.
The
Saints.
Bears.
Dallas Cowboys.
Wow, all
Duh.
different. I
Wow.
love this. I love this diversity.
The Aints.
The
Aints.
Aints.
Who dat?
Who dat, baby?
Who that?
So long story short, I've never really been a huge football fan, but in high school,
Football.
You like the way the
well,
pants?
I would say in middle school, some of our friends.
Oh yeah, Vince Calcagna just rubbed all over. The Saints are the best.
Saints, baby. Who dat?
Yeah.
That's your Saints origin story?
That is my Saints origin story. Well, if you went to their house, if you ever went to the house and hung out, you know why.
Oh yeah, they're decked out. They bleed.
Good energy.
They bleed Saints or gold and
Golden,
whatever.
yeah,
whatever color.
I will say NFL fandom energy is probably the most contagious energy around, more than COVID.
Not the new variant. I don't know.
But no, I mean, I have no shade to throw on the Saints. I really like them more than other teams because I don't like most teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like,
but what's so wild too is like being here in Texas. I don't know that the Cowboys still have a chokehold on the market here. But just pulling out off of Bill Miller's the other day, I mean, I'm seeing Chief jerseys all over the place.
Yeah,
because they're bandwagon people.
Man.
I got nothing against the Chiefs because it's like they don't really, and it's like they're not
the Packers.
But here's the kicker:
the Cowboys division. So I'm like, I got nothing against them. Like, I mean, if the Eagles and the Chiefs play again another Super Bowl, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. Not because I like the Chiefs, but I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Fight, Eagles, fight.
And I have dropped the F-bomb way too much already just out the gate.
Like, at least you haven't dropped an R-bomb, so that's good.
That compilation is getting big. We're at like 2.5 minutes right now.
I think you can tell a lot about a person when they are a fan of a crappy team because usually they're very loyal people, and I don't know why that is such a weird
correlation.
Great correlation, yeah.
Right, but it's fans. I'm a Browns fan. And I'm a ride or die for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Mike's a Bears fan.
I'm a Bears fan, a Cubs fan. They suck year in and year out.
And I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life, and it's been a long 28 years.
I mean, at least you've made the playoffs
2 decades
several times and not gotten out of the first round. But still, you've made the playoffs.
Or is that a decade? What is that? 2 decades?
1997 was the last Super Bowl win.
I got to do that Super Bowl shuffle back to '85. Come on. That's a long gap.
But you guys at least went when Urlacher was.
We went to Super Bowl 2006.
2006. Okay.
They lost miserably, but
you know what's crazy though is like the teams that these people follow. The personality usually is
not Bears
is equivalent to what they follow, right? So Kansas City, right? You got Taylor Swift. You got all the Swifties now. The dude in the KC jersey got into a Subaru Crosstrek. That coincides with what they're following. I feel like everybody in Kansas City probably drives a Crosstrek.
You are so right.
John drives a big old truck because them boys, baby.
Bro, poor Ohio. They just have the worst public school system. So I know a lot of Browns fans, and
they have the worst everything.
The whole state.
A tough place, man.
It's poverty.
It is. It really
is it even a state anymore?
Well, I tell you what's cool. That wouldn't be a bad one to just. Like, you probably buy 6 or 7 houses for the price of a house in San Antonio or Dallas.
The average price is like $120.
Yeah.
I do have a buddy that does flips in Ohio.
He buys them for 15, sells them for 40.
That's exactly it.
Volume bag.
He actually buys them for about $8,500 because they're pretty bad.
That's the whole block.
It's rough.
No joke. The guy that did some work on my house was from Ohio, and he was talking about how you could actually go in, buy a house for $10,000, put $30,000 or $40,000 into it, and sell it for $100,000. And I'm like, that's really not that bad a margin. You know what I mean? It's like,
what he didn't tell you though is that $15,000 were spent trying to get squatters out and repairing what they damaged.
So are you guys in fantasy leagues this year?
No.
No, you're not?
Yeah.
3,
1.
3, 1, 5.
God!
How do you manage 5 leagues?
Not well.
Well, here's the question. How do I win 4 out of 5 leagues?
Dang.
Crown the champ. The champ is here. And I'm a repeat in one of those 4. So I'm going for it. I got a good feeling about this team. About to set a record. I'm so proud of this that I actually... I made an advertisement for my company, and just introducing our team, put it in Luxury Home Magazine, put it in Real Producers, and in Real Producers, I got made fun of because one of my buddies I've known for a decade is a realtor. He posted in our fantasy chat my excerpt where it says that I'm a 4-time fantasy football winner.
I feel like you need to add that
so hard for that.
I tell you what though, if I got a resume, like I'm trying to hire somebody. If I got a resume where somebody's like 4-time fantasy football winner. But
I'm gonna interview him.
I'm gonna interview him for sure.
myinsuranceGroup.com/career.
This transfers over.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at metrics. I'm looking at situational awareness.
Did you put it in your email signature?
How did the interview go? You know, I'm all over it, baby. X is working for me.
I'm thinking you put a little bit too
AKA
much
Twitter.
work into that.
I feel like it's
I mean,
it's an episode.
$3,500 is $3,500. What can I say?
The 3 is too much, and I really didn't want to be in the 3. But it's like once you commit to a season, it's hard to say no when they ask you again the next season.
Yeah, once you're kind of in, you're in.
And so it's like, man, like I can't just get out of them. And so I was a little excited because I thought 1 wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm only have to do 2 this year.
Yeah. Same.
So one of them's with Jade and Ryan and James is in that one too. But like it's a bunch of high school buddies, right? So it's like I always have to do that one. You have to be in that one, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one I got asked about 5 years ago to be in, and then this other one where I just had like a weak moment because I fucking love Patrick, right?
Yep.
And he was just like, just join, and I was like, okay, cool. And that was like 3 years ago now,
Pitch
and so.
close. He's
like,
a great
well,
closer, so obviously that worked on you.
Yeah.
So I planned last year, after this past year, to get out of a few. Then I won, and I can't.
You can't
leave
leave
out on
as a
top.
champ.
No, I got to defend, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then I discovered Dynasty 2 years ago. Do you guys know what Dynasty is?
Yeah, where you have to keep your same team.
Year-round fantasy.
So, have you ever seen the movie Fever Pitch?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they're dividing up the season tickets or whatever? Are any of the drafts or the fantasy leagues that y'all are in, are they that crazy?
So I've been doing mine online. I have a buddy that I used to be in his league year after year. They only do it in person. That was when I was in the military. We drive down to Florida from Georgia, do it in person. It was just like that.
Dude, I tell you what, you get some goofy picks in person. So one of my drafts are live without computer. And even though you have a sheet of paper of like who's the best picks, like Mike Evans gets picked up in the 5th round. Like, how the heck did this happen? How did like we miss Mike Evans? You know what I mean? You're just like, it's just a trip. You're just like, there's so much wild stuff that happens when it's just live with no computer. You know?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Was there a dance off?
So we actually,
It's like you got to dance for first pick.
in one of my first fantasy leagues that I'm still in, and I started my fantasy nightmare in. We do a punishment where the last place has to wear a clown suit, and you can't wash the clown suit. And so it's the dead heat of summer, and we have to go to a very populated place. The commissioner of this league has lost the past 2 years in a row.
Wait. So they have titles. The commissioner.
Well, the guy who controls it. He's
Guys,
like
yeah, he's
Is there like a VP and?
no, it's just commissioner.
just commissioner. No, being a commissioner is a thankless job. It's like being a buyer agent in real estate. Like,
Shots
everybody's
fired.
complaining. You know, nobody says thank you usually, and you have to deal with all these conflicts.
Sniveling.
Like, why don't we do Superflex, bro? God!
Are there any handicaps?
Ever, but I'll be back next year. Oh man! All right, so
No, next question. We're still on fantasy for a
let's do
second.
it. Let's do it.
Next question. Have you guys seen where like loser has to do a tattoo?
No, that's
a little hardcore,
man.
yeah, I've seen it, but
That's
and I
permanent.
refuse. Yep.
I'm not joining that league.
Yeah, I don't think I could join that league. Like man, like because I've been known to suck at a fantasy league or two. You know.
Well, you pick all the Cowboy players.
I did this last so just so we're clear. My first 2 drafts were solid. Like I was like number 3 as far as like, you know, projection, and then I was number 2 as far as projection. And then I clicked the wrong button last night. I was trying to pick up Joe Burrow. I ended up picking up Dak Prescott in the 8th round. And I just hit screw it.
You're doomed.
And I just cowboyed it up from the 8th pick. Like, I'm not joking. I got Aubrey as a kicker. I was
going to say, the only one you probably can't go wrong with right about now is Aubrey.
I got Ezekiel Elliott. I got freaking Rico. I got Cooks. I mean, I just literally was like, yeah. I mean, so my first 7 picks were solid. Like, it was who I should have picked. Like, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase. Like Jamar Chase first, and then Derrick Henry, and then I think
Troy Aikman.
Metcalf.
Roger Staubach.
Yeah, DK Metcalf, and then it just, I just kind of. was like, wow.
So how do you think you're going to do?
with the Dak pick?
So
You're gonna be happy with the Dak
my
pick.
team name
He's a top 5
is
player.
what was I thinking? Like I just changed it last night. Yeah.
That makes sense. You'll probably get a lot of points from Dak.
Yeah,
And
he's a
you'll
top
probably
5.
pick up a lot of
He's
points
top
from
5
Auburn.
every year.
Yeah.
Because
And then
A,
it's
he
just-
throws a crap ton of.
Yep.
He throws a crap ton, and B, I mean they don't score many touchdowns, so Auburn kicks a lot of field goals.
It's just week 17 and on into playoffs. He just
falls apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's something happens.
You just got to hope he stays healthy.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. What did he do? Broke his thumb last year or something like that?
He's always breaking something.
I think he broke his nerve. I'm pretty sure at some point.
Way, way to
his toe.
censor yourself.
Because he is
Yeah. Well, no, he just
He's a really good guy.
no, he's just like
He's a swell dude.
He's a
You know
great.
that?
He's a great athlete. I personally, and I wish more people would talk about this.
Jerry Jones.
I want to see Cooper Rush just start and take that team to whatever Cooper Rush can take that team because he's a winner. 5-1 ain't a bad record. Not the most athletic guy, but you don't need to be the most athletic guy if you got a bunch of weapons around you. He doesn't choke and he doesn't create a whole bunch of stupid shit. Like
so that's what I never understood about the Cowboys. Is their number one usually goes down somewhere around the 4th or 5th week.
no.
Their
Overusage.
replacement comes in, balls out. First comes back, they put him back in, they lose the rest of the
Well,
season.
here's what you need to understand. Two
It's
words.
the facts.
2 words. The answer is Jerry Jones. He is their cancer.
He wants their money in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's a showman, and he's probably got Alzheimer's at this point. He's
But John,
just
how many
still-
Cowboys fans actually want to see Dak run back onto the field when you're already having a winning season after starting the season? Let's just say 1-3.
so I was really sad when they put him back in. What was that? That was 2 years
2 years ago.
Yeah. Like so the Eagles were on a tear, right? And Cooper Rush did not play that great in that game. But what he did is he got them back to within a touchdown in the third quarter. And you're like, man, like, I mean, he got it back into striking distance for a second. Like, he doesn't fold under pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I hate to say it, I am a Cowboys fan, and I hope Dak does awesome this year. But that guy is like, little pressure. He's like Tony Romo too. It's
mental.
like, I mean, Tony Romo was a great quarterback. I'm not trying to throw shade on Tony Romo either. It just feels like as soon as they get a little bit of pressure on them, where it's like, hey, the game's on your shoulders, or they feel like the game's on their shoulders, they're like, bet, watch this interception.
Our
You're
defense
sitting on
is
the
good.
edge of your seat because you know it's coming. It's just a matter of when.
and just so we're clear, they can play football a whole lot better than I can, but I'm just saying, like, after watching them, you're like, wow, I don't know if you're the guy. You're not like, as much as everybody's like, Troy wasn't even that athletic. He didn't really even do that much. Look at his stats, and it's like, he got 3 rings, bro. Like, he didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
They're like, well, he had the best line, he had the best running back. It's like, yeah,
You
he
gotta bring
didn't
it all
mess
together.
it up, and he got 3 rings.
Yeah, you got to bring it all
They
together.
also didn't have all the pansy ass rules that they have in the game nowadays.
I like some of the rules. I like to protect players. I hate to see people get hurt.
Dude, I
I'm
wanna
not gonna
see
lie to
some
you.
freaking
Yeah,
stuff.
Well, let's talk about those new stupid helmet things that
the
people are
guardian
gonna wear.
caps
Yeah,
that they could wear.
That.
I,
Feel like a SpongeBob out there.
yeah, it looks ridiculous, but
Next, they're going to be those. What are those big giant helmets that they wear? The
wanna-
heads,
I
not the
wanna see.
guardian.
I want to see some floaties.
They're going to play on a trampoline so that when they fall, they just bounce back up. You know, that would be actually a pretty cool playing.
I'm about it.
What if they just had like, you know how they did the basketball where they have trampolines,
Like a bouncy turf.
like a
remember that.
bouncy turf. And they could just like run and jump off the trampoline from like the 3-point line and
People would die.
Oh, man. Mid-air collision. That'd be awesome.
No, because we're gonna put bubble wrap around it.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
they're going to be bubble boys. They're going to be in those little bubbles that you see people play with, that run at each other. And,
XFL. It's a new idea.
there you go.
I do think enhanced games would be fun to watch.
That is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, just like every single one of them is juicing, like good juice too, like not the like the that is sort of steroid, sort of not. Like
I need that in baseball, not in football.
But the question is, are they going to actually bring like baseball, football, sports to the league? That's the big question. Because I know they're going to do like track and field, swim, mixed martial arts. But I mean, I think football
dude,
would
track
be
and field would be so much fun to watch. They're like, so we just broke a world record in the
Dude
100-meter dash.
Dude just ran faster than a cheetah.
Cheat on his back.
Oh shit! His heart exploded.
Yeah, and he's gone. Unfortunately.
Discovered the God particle.
The God.
More on that later.
But the season will be interesting, I think, with the implementation of the new rules, things like that.
I'm just excited. I'm excited. Tonight is the first real game.
Tonight, Thursday Night Football.
But I'm watching Beetlejuice, so I can't.
What on earth did you just say out loud?
Beetlejuice.
Camera shuts off. Board falls down.
So I got tickets for opening night for Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was. I thought it was already out, but
Does your wife hate you? Like,
She
what?
wanted to go.
Oh, she hates you.
She's like, we're going. My daughter's going.
it's okay.
Oh my God.
And Beetlejuice is not going to be politically correct, that's what I'm told.
Oh, it's
nice.
not.
It's not
now
politically correct.
I might
yeah.
have to check it out. All right.
Hell yeah, that's my kind of movie.
So I'm very interested. What inspired you to pick "If God is all you have, then God is all you need"?
Yeah, so I mean, these are things that are just trending on the tickety talk.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, last time we were talking a little bit about God, talked a little bit about Solomon and his wealth.
Yep.
And it did really good, but there's a lot of people right now searching if God is all you have, then you have all you need. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like a lot of people right now in the world need
searching.
God's guidance.
Searching for something.
They're
Like
they're-
there's
whether it be
idols
God
everywhere.
or for motivation, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this really kind of had a sentiment with me when I read it. I started going through it. I'm not a super religious person. I mean, I grew up in a Catholic household, went to church every Sunday, did all that stuff.
Same.
Still follow and live through the Word of God, but I don't think I am God's highlight. Like, I'm not His missionary, right? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
But in my interpretation, like, I feel like more people need to read this statement and understand actually what it means.
I love that.
To a lot of people, right? Because I feel like they're searching for more than what they actually need. When in reality, if they turn to the Scripture or to God, or to whoever they want to follow, whether that be God or whoever, that they feel that they're full. They're complete.
I'm really glad that you didn't show up this morning and ruined everybody's morning, because that gave me time to kind of research this and kind of put some thoughts together, because this is an important topic to me. Because in the Navy, I was in a very dark place, and I fell into the traps of idolization of things that are worldly and placing my identity on things, imitating worldly things, and all that ever did was let me down. And it wasn't until I discovered this Bible in a Year program by Nikki Gumbel.
That's a great. That's awesome.
Quick plug, man. And honestly, my life did a complete 180. I started noticing like actual, many people will call them coincidences, and I could talk about that offline with anybody if they want to talk about my own testimony. But I truly believe that God's put me in this job because I do talk about my testimony with agents more than I actually talk about real estate.
Right.
And I had never felt closer to God until I started reading the Word myself last year in an understandable form. Like we have apps now where I don't have to sit there and try to understand KJV.
Right.
There's just so many different translations that are so understandable. But that praying and fellowship, like people see, I go to church. Well, the concept of church, I think, is really fallible right now because we're living in an age of a great apostasy. And we are supposed to be we are the church. We bring the church to people. What the church community is, as we know it, is just a fellowship where we use to sharpen our own iron as iron ourselves. And we have to be strong. And in order to do that and to be knowledgeable and wise, we actually have to read the Word.
Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another.
That's my wristband.
Well, and I think what's so hard with this particular topic too is like
I don't know why I had to say it all funny like I'm sorry. James Earl Jones.
us in like the professions that we're in. Oftentimes, people oversee the stresses and the dark days that Mike and John might have faced getting their businesses going, building their their pipelines, building those relationships with people. That we are human, we're not just business. We are human, and in the end, these are some things that have helped us, especially with me, having multiple businesses, not just being a real estate agent, but having other avenues that I'm in, being able to turn to God and understand that, hey, you know what, if this is all that it brings, this is all that I need. Like, God will guide me to where I should be.
And God guides through the word, and I think that's where everyone falls short, because we live in a world of comparison. We live in a world where everybody's getting so anxious. There's so much FOMO. I see this, I want this, short-term gratification. And, I think the goal when it comes to godliness is ministry. That's the end goal. And in order to essentially provide credible ministry, we have to read the word, we have to pray, we have to have the intimate relationship so that we can bring just peace and hope, to a dark world, to a fallen place. And the more souls that we can save that way, I feel like that builds the karma, if you will.
Well, I mean, and we're getting darker and darker as we get to
it really
election.
Is. Yeah.
As we come to election, we're getting darker and darker.
Yeah. And you can't idolize politicians. You can't idolize anything in this world, because it's all going to let you down.
Well, I mean, and that's what the teachings say, right? Like, hey, we shouldn't idolize people. Yep. So, and Mike just got a notification
for fantasy football.
For fantasy football. God is all you need, Mike. You don't need file.
I actually have thought about this topic a lot. So we're in America, the land of plenty. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We have more wealth than any other nation, but yet we're broken.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We're lonely. We're anxious. We're stressed out. You go to Africa or go to countries where Christians are being prosecuted. They have way more joy.
Yeah.
They're happy. They're living the way they're supposed to live, and we're missing the boat as a nation.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty happy I'm here.
not in Africa.
You spent up here in a lake of fire.
You don't want to be doing the Togo every day.
You get to the pearly gates. Well, how many fantasy football championships did you win?
But what's so crazy to see is like that statement. If God is all you have, then you have all you need. Being like some of the top most searched statements or searched keywords out there, just is a testament to that. A lot of people are looking for guidance, and I feel like they're looking for that reassurance to really be reassured that they are where they're supposed to be and that they have what they're supposed to have. Right?
The best thing to do, dude. Bible in a Year program. Just do it. That is my 2 cents on, just start. Take a step. A journey.
It's 20 minutes a day.
Dude, journey.
Some of it's going to be super boring.
If I would one day, you get a little bit of Old Testament, you get a little bit of Psalms, and you get a little bit of New Testament, so it's kind of more palatable.
Within context, you need to, in order to see the connection between the Old Testament
and New Testament. I like to call them
changes,
honestly.
Peace Psalms, you call them.
And if you're not a godly person, just understand that
you're fucked.
That while all the people are floating to the heavens and you're down here looking at a world on fire, you had a chance. But that most people.
That's a good one. That's 3.
Just be reassured that you are where you're supposed to be, even if you believe in Him or not in Him. Just understand that you are where you should be in life right now, and if He wanted more for you, there would be a path.
I mean, I completely disagree. Like you might not be where you should be.
Get off the couch, damn it! Stop looking at TikTok.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow Homes and Homies and subscribe.
Sure, path to heaven.
So this is
but you're not going to heaven
because we are.
I mean, this is our warning message to you. Okay.
This is it.
Yeah, days are here.
This is it. This is your turning point.
You went on a real estate show and we had to tell you the truth.
I drove past the red heifer on the way to work today.
So I think this all comes down also to programming. This is a great segue for our next topic with Cartoon Network. So by the way, Reuters says that Cartoon Network is not shutting down, and Forbes is clarified and said Cartoon Network's website is actually shutting down. But what I want to touch on this topic is I think that we have such a lost generation because of all the programming that we've been exposed to as children, and that is now getting exposed to children now. And programming is in it's programming us to think certain ways. Like, did you guys watch Ren and Stimpy growing up?
Oh yeah, that was such a dirty show.
We're so fucked up.
Yeah.
You look back at it now and you see,
now they wonder why some women are nymphs.
It's wild, man. So
John's like,
what's bad is I still watch South Park. Like, if it's on, it's
They
like
killed Kenny.
yeah, I mean, if it's on, I still turn it on. I'm like, this is awful, but I'm gonna watch it.
I do too.
Yeah.
Guilty admission.
But kind of
For sure.
going to the programming, everything's been about speed, right? Like speed to the human mind, to the brain. And we've all been, like, even us, like as kids, like some of the things that we listened to and watched
For sure.
when we were kids, now as adults we're like, oh shit.
What?
Like, why?
I was listening to Slim Shady LP at 12
Yeah.
years old, and even the clean version from Walmart had me fucked up. You know?
That and who was it? Shaggy? She caught me on the counter.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, I think the kids today win though. Like Nicki Minaj, that WAP. I listen to that song and I'm like, I have to go take a shower. No joke.
I feel dirty.
That was very descriptive, and I'm gonna go shower now.
But Cartoon Network did, I mean, the nostalgia, like it's coming to an end, like for 90s babies, even the 80s. I believe they had some shows in the early 80s or later 80s that are, it's coming to an end. Is it going to be completely gone? I don't know. But
But there's always going to be TV land. It'll be fine.
But it's always been about programming. It's always been about mind manipulation.
Get 'em young.
Get them while they're young.
And you have like the fact checkers that are even protecting these shitty companies. Like
Lies.
for example, I was looking up one of the conspiracies, right? That Nick, on Latin, Nick and Nickelodeon. This is the topic. Nick Kelo Deo is Latin for I don't care about God. And so I looked that up on Snopes first. Snopes says that this is false, and also, I quote, thinking for yourself is foolish conspiracy theory talk. After that, I go to Google Translate, typed in Nick Kelo Deo, looked it up, and it does literally translate to I don't care about God. But Snopes says it's false. And imagine all the people that trusted Snopes during COVID.
Yeah, trust science.
They're lying straight up to us, and if it's comfortable to us, we don't want to bust our comfort bubble. So when we see what we want to see, oh, thank goodness it's not real. Okay, Snopes says so. We can trust him.
So you remember in school, like, and this is probably in English, I vividly remember, like in English, when writing a story, they told you to reference three articles.
Citations. Yeah.
3 citations. You need 3 citations to ensure that you are credible
Yeah.
and proving your message is right. Like you went to the sources, you validated your hypothesis, and you developed your statement. Like, and this is what it is.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's like, oh, let me just go to Snoops, or hey, on Facebook, it says this is fake, so it must be fake.
Just go find it for yourself. People, you got to want it though, right? Like you got to want the truth.
I mean,
gotta
It's
want
hard to
bad
find
enough.
the truth.
It is.
I just want to go I was thinking about if you Google Tom Brady.
Oh boy, here we go.
Comes up.
He will not go to the Cowboys.
In Wikipedia, for a while, which I just thought was really funny, Tom Brady's dad, Eli Manning, popped up, which I thought was hilarious.
That's not true.
Oh,
What are you talking about? It was totally true. He owned him.
You mean daddy. There's different contexts with words here. Daddy. Eli Manning is Tom Brady's daddy. That's
So you know what's funny is some of the rookies nowadays that are with the Buccaneers say that Tom Brady actually had 2 lockers on each side of his locker for memorabilia for him to sign for the rookies coming into the clubhouse. Like he had his extra lockers.
Did you guys see the roast?
Dude,
No, I didn't
I-
see
he was
it.
pretty
I actually
pissed,
watched
though.
it twice because it was funny. It was
long, but it was a hit.
So I didn't like him most of his career,
You were programmed.
and then well, I really hated the Patriots, and they just won all the
Same.
time. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
It's just like God, and it's like
And
it's
won.
really easy to not like
And
Bill
won.
Belichick also,
Yeah.
and like. Towards the end, though, man, I kind of was like, dude, he is like the GOAT, right?
Right.
Like, I can't argue it. He's really, really good. And so, and then when a lot of other people started hating on him. I was like, okay, I can like him now. Like, we got enough people that hate him. I think he's the GOAT.
He's a GOAT for sure,
Yeah.
undoubtedly.
Yeah.
So did you ever see that the Nickelodeon, kind of going back to the Cartoon Network nostalgia being gone here pretty soon, but Nickelodeon's logo, there's a lot of skepticism on it because it's the same shape as Epstein Island.
Identical.
All right, you guys have got to stop with all these conspiracy theories.
These aren't conspiracy theories.
It's
man.
not a
These
theory.
are
It's
just
fact.
connections. What do you want to see? We got to
It looks like
acknowledge it, man.
Nickelodeon. The symbol looks like a glob. It's just like
That's what they wanted you to believe.
Yeah, you compare it, man. It's all in front of us for a reason. Like they're putting it all there because you have to make a choice. Do you have kids? Yeah.
I have steps. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, same thing, and
You're a
at
role
some-
model.
You're a role model, and at some point, there's going to be a switch, and you're going to be like, I got to protect this kid. Something's changing, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Well, that's why I let him watch Disney.
Oh,
Uncensored Disney.
oh boy.
I've got a conspiracy theory. So I got a new fridge over the weekend.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. It talks to you.
No, I wanted a dumb fridge. I don't need for it to tell me to order this or order that.
Right.
But in order to set it up, I had to download an app
Right.
and give it permission to my.
Your network.
Well, no, not the network. It had to have access to my camera.
Oh shit.
And it had to have access to my contacts, or my fridge will not turn on.
Really?
Why the hell
Is
is
it a
that?
Samsung?
That's an LG, I think.
It's an LG.
Yeah.
China.
No, it is a Samsung. It is a
China,
Samsung.
yeah.
No, it is a Samsung,
Samsung, yeah. China.
which is owned by Google.
They're breaking in.
You know how much privacy you give up by just acknowledging and saying? Like, you do understand that, like,
But why does my fridge need to know who I talk to?
Oh, you'll find out.
because they're listening.
You'll
They
find
are
out.
listening.
Give it a couple of years.
They are in your house listening to every conversation that you have.
It is.
Every spanking you give your child, and your child screams. Like, they're listening.
That's why I buy Whirlpool.
Do they make a fridge? Yeah, they do.
But so if you read it,
Shout out to Gina Litwin with this bread. It is on point.
if you read the privacy statement, you are giving all
Your
those
firstborn child?
you're giving them the permission to create, read, write, and edit.
There was an updated privacy policy with Google specifically a few years back where when any Google service that you use, you are allowing Google, like the router or something like that, you are allowing them to identify, track, and map all traffic and also device IDs on every single thing on your network. All, like down to your MAC address.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of that, our Attorney General for Texas is now suing GM
I love Texas.
for that.
Yeah.
I
So
love
basically,
Texas.
they found that they're gathering all sorts of data of people with GM cars, where they've been, how fast they drive, all this.
I'm going to write a
stuff.
movie about Texas being, it's going to be an equivalent to Remember the Alamo and that battle, but it's going to be Texas versus the globalists, the entire world. We are the last stand between that and actual freedom.
It'll be crazy.
I just wish they'd lower property taxes.
Amen to that.
Oh wait, wrong one.
Abbott, lower property taxes.
So the Appalachian Mountains, man. So I was looking up some stuff, and they have Mothman, Bigfoot, Moon-Eyed People, Flatwoods Monster, and the Bell Witch haunting. The one that was most interesting to me, because it's actually still verifiable to this day,
Bigfoot.
is the Brown Mountain Lights. In July 2016, the Charlotte Observer reported Forest Service officers reported a close-up encounter on the mountain with beach ball-sized orbs that floated by and then vanished. Not only that, the lights can be observed on the Blue Ridge Parkway, at milepost 310 on the Green Mountain Overlook, and the city of Morganton, North Carolina, recently helped to improve the overlook on North Carolina Highway for the purpose of attracting curious visitors. So you can still go there and see these orbs on almost an annual basis, allegedly.
So what are the orbs a representation of? Just energy?
Is that a trick question?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Because
Because I was
It's
referring
aliens, of course.
to the Appalachian Mountains. They've been talking about like Mothman, and some weird stuff going on in the Appalachians.
Yeah.
But I thought Texas owned Bigfoot. I thought
No.
No, it's Buc-ee's.
So we own Buc-ee's. Get your beaver nuggets.
Yeah, I saw a video yesterday about some international spec ops organization that actually went into the Appalachian Mountains and found this cave and went deep down into the cave and found just a whole plethora of like skulls and bones and saw this like reptoid humanoid creature. Yada yada yada. So who knows, man? I'll tell you this: I'm never going to the Appalachian Mountains by myself in the dark.
So you know what's funny is it's not the Appalachian Mountains, but it has to do with Area 51. And this is going to go far fetched out there, but somebody said. Hold on.
And I'm about running late for my 12:30.
Somebody said, what if it wasn't to keep you from getting out? It's to keep you from getting in, as to why it's so heavily guarded. Because there's some skepticism out there that there are portals and there are creatures being contained who we think are fictionary, but are actual real. Right? I think that's right.
I believe it.
So, like Mothman, and I think maybe some of them got out. They're in the Appalachians.
CERN.
Just checking.
CERN, speaking of things getting out of places they shouldn't be getting out of.
That bread is good.
I was just checking.
delicious.
See what was in there.
So,
I felt like I just went into Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe for a second. I'm like, wait a second.
Wait till you hear
coming back
about
from
CERN.
Narnia. CERN is a nuclear research facility built on the burial grounds of Apollyon the Destroyer. They also have a dancing Shiva statue on premises, and the Shiva statue is the deity who destroys the cosmos so that it can be renewed again.
So, what was CERN built for? What was its practical use?
Allegedly, to their statement is in order to discover the fabric of the universe via the God particle. So they've discovered the God particle, and now they're trying to use their Large Hadron Collider in order to see if they can open up. Well, they don't want to say to open up portals, but yeah, there's actually a book out there by Nick Huntley, the author of CERN, Satan's Playground. It's on Amazon, and it explains CERN's connections to world leaders, secret global organization, and claims of an Armageddon-like possibility. There's also rumors of a video circulating of a mock ritual human sacrifice. And that's actually, I watched the video. It's pretty.
Is that the VMAs?
So what I saw about CERN is that they use energy in circles.
I thought it was like a lot of physics, but
yeah, it's
what it is. But
I mean, if I had to imagine how to make a portal, I'm going to use physics.
But so here's what the good old Googs will tell you: is the fundamental studies the fundamental particles that make up everything around us. Their mission is to perform world-class research in fundamental particle physics.
So we got to lose John Hanson. He's got to go.
I gotta go.
And we could wrap it up there.
On that
back.
note,
On that note,
real
give
quick,
us-
we got 2 minutes. Is being a realtor worth it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So some points that I've learned from a lot of agents that I've met. Lots of people get into real estate who want money without needing to be accountable to anyone.
Never
and
do
I
that.
think
That's
that's
a
the wrong
bad
mindset. You got to be humble, you got to be employable, and you got to be coachable. With the right mindset, I think the greatest benefit in real estate is schedule flexibility, because time is precious. For that reason alone, I think it's totally worth it. But if you don't like people,
Don't
you
get
better,
into it.
yeah, you better figure out how to start. And after that, if you do and you start to like people, you start to love what you do. Anything is worth it.
we should pick that up next episode.
For sure.
Next episode of the Homes and Homies. But thank you for tuning in to the Homes and Homies. My name's Ernest. We got John Sexy Hansen and Mike Litwin.
Gary David Getz.
Gary David Getz. Tune in next week for some more interesting topics coming in right at you.